I grew up in a four-room apartment in the middle of Beijing at the turn of the 20th century. Common household features such as the existence of stairs within a house were thought of as decadent luxuries representative of the incredibly wealthy. My life was simple. At 5 years old, it was differentiated by two things: the times I was with my mother and the times I was not. My single mother was a chemist and professor at the University of Beijing. Even at a young age, she distinguished herself from her peers with her remarkable ambition and intense passion for learning. From growing up in the frigid winds of northern Mongolia to becoming one of three students to earn a full scholarship to China's most competitive university, to working as a government-sponsored chemist in Goslar, Germany. My mother accomplished more before I was born than most people achieved in a lifetime. Unfortunately, I would not learn of the fabulous successes and arduous trials of my mother until much, much later. All I could understand or not understand at 5 years old was why my mother was rarely home, why I did not see her for 3 months during the summer when I lived with my grandparents, and why I was forced to go to a daycare owned by a tyrannical monster who would tell ghost stories to make me cry. Even now, much of my knowledge about my mother's early life is something I am still piecing together. As was the case then, my full understanding of her brilliant yet ill-tempered persona is continually hindered by the simple troubles of life. Although now there are the issues of an 18-year-old teenager rather than those of a 5-year-old child. I remember nights we would spend together when she was busy with her research or classes. I would sit in a desk next to her, drawing pictures, and imagine that I was her personal assistant. I also remember times when I had to stay home alone because she had a lecture to give or errands to run. I would lean against the windowsill, staring down into the bleak concrete streets, waiting and watching for the return of a petite form in a bright red jacket. Yet, despite the forlorn days and the lonely nights, I feel neither regret nor resentment towards those early years or my mother. On the contrary, I am incredibly proud and grateful for all the difficulties she endured in order to raise me properly. Had it not been for my childhood experiences, I would not have matured at such an early age or developed such a strong sense of independence. We moved to America in the spring of 1997. The transition of cultures was daunting, yet it failed to dishearten my mother. Like every other experience in her life, she treated the move as an opportunity. However, even my mother was not immune to the overwhelming cultural shock, and despite her perseverance and accomplishments, she continually struggled with the language barrier and the difference in societal values. Unfortunately, my Americanization has caused a great deal of mystification and incomprehension in my mother. Not only do our manners of speaking differ, but we no longer view traditional beliefs the same way. Her lack of encouragement for my participation in athletics and her excessive emphasis on my grades have been both frustrating and upsetting. From my gregarious nature and social outings to my obdurate refusals to comply with her every long-established demand, she has been forced to accept the evolution of her daughter from that of Chinese doll to American teenager. Nevertheless, despite our various differences and my acute assimilation into another culture, I have never lost sight of what matters most to me, nor forgotten the roots of my heritage and rigorous upbringing. My mother's persistence and endurance are qualities which I have proudly assumed and carried with me in every activity of my life. From facing the ignorant racism of elementary classmates to the malicious jealousies of middle school peers, I have never doubted or secondary guessed the work ethic and moral code that she instilled in me. Her resourcefulness has also been highly influential and taught me of the importance of seeking opportunities. Whether it was working alongside Philadelphia Inquirer journalists or researching marketing strategies for a startup company, I have learned and developed with each success and letdown encountered throughout my middle and high school years. The difficulties of my mother and the difficulties that I faced in two countries, on two continents, continue to define and shape my personality and character. As mother and daughter continue along the journey of life, I hope that she can come to accept and embrace the daughter